The journey from 13.2 to 6.4 was a task. It was, but I wasn't expecting a 5.8 when I went into my recent tests. This is my Bible. I go back to it maybe 10 times a day, and although it's in a very, very bad shape, it's torn, but this just proves how much I use this. Hi, I'm Aishwarya Sakhuja, and I'm a type 1 diabetic. I started out as a type 2, which was a misdiagnosed, then went on to becoming a 1.5, which is, I guess, LADA. And now I am a proud type 1 diabetic, and I've been type 1 since, it's been three and a half years now, since 2018. So when I was diagnosed with diabetes, the world came crashing down. I had no idea what was in store for me. And I went going and doing my research. I got in touch with some people here in India who claim that they can, get this disorder out of my system. And I got in touch with a lot of people, and I was in denial, thinking that I am going to beat this. Possibly I'll be one of the first few type 1s who could reverse the disorder. And I'm going to be a part of Guinness World of Book Records. But it just didn't happen like that. And I started, going through your page and understand what you guys are talking about. I was very, very, very intrigued. I was missing out on fruits. It had just been, thankfully, I found you guys like really early on. I think by 2019 mid is when I found you guys. And I was missing out on eating fruits. I've always loved fruits, and that was one thing that was really, really annoying the hell out of me. So when I saw your page and I saw those lovely fruits and lovely vegetables, and you guys so excited talking about food, I was like, wow, this is it. I have tried so many various ways of getting out of this situation that I'm in. Let's see if I can do this, and maybe this is going to help me. Well, obviously, it didn't reverse the type 1 diabetic issue that I have, but it changed a lot of things for me. It changed my perspective. It changed the way I looked at food. Food earlier used to be a pain for me. I would say that what is the point of eating thrice a day? And it's just a waste of time. But the way you guys spoke about food, the way you guys unboxed your love fruits, I was really, really intrigued and very amused. And that's when I ordered my first copy of Mastering Diabetes. And since then, I've gifted quite a few to my friends. So beautiful to see them like that, isn't it? I mean, they're excited like kids. And I think that's how we should be when it comes to our food. We should be happy eating it. When I started reading that book, the testimonials made a lot of difference, because you actually heard people that their lives have been transformed. And when that started to happen, when I started visualizing other people's experiences, I thought that, there is no harm in trying. You guys are not telling me to put medicines in my body. Instead, you guys are telling me to treat food as my medicine. And the shift of perspective towards food really got me feeling a lot better mentally, even before I started trying out your recipe. Every now and then, I do falter, I do fail. I'm unable to stick to just green light foods or green light liquids. But I know it's for a fact I've become so mindful that every time I'm having butter or maybe, a teaspoon of oil, I know, okay, you know what, this is not good for me. So I've done this now, but the beautiful part is that I can go back to eating right. And that's when this lovely book comes in handy. I mean, this is like this is my Bible. I go back to it maybe 10 times a day. And although it's in a very, very bad shape, it's torn, but this just proves how much I use this. So yeah, the idea was to put on some weight by eating the right food and not just, just adding crazy amount of fat into my diet. And I've been able to gain 4 kilos. So from 49, I've gone to 53 kilos, but I still have a long way to go. So I started with a 13.2 HbA1c, and today I'm on a 5.8. And I honestly have been able to follow this book properly, like, sticking to the regime, failing every now and then, like once a fortnight, maybe twice a fortnight, but more or less sticking to it for the past 1.5, 2 months, ever since I've taken break from work. And from a 6.4, I straight away went to a 5.8. So the journey from 13.2 to 6.4 was a task. It was, but I wasn't expecting a 5.8 when I went into my recent tests. And it's just been 2 months, 1.5, 2 months of following this book properly, making the recipes, making that effort of not putting any oil, sticking to low-fat, plant-based diet, and it's done wonders. I wasn't expecting it because from a 6.4, I was expecting, okay, maybe I would be at a 6.1, which is still all right. People say you got to be below 7, and I'm still confused about my numbers because everybody has a different opinion. But when I saw a 5.8 on my report, I actually called up the technician, the lab technician, and I asked him, I said, are you sure this is mine? Maybe it's a mix-up. He said, no, ma'am, it is yours. And that was a day of celebration in my house. So fasting blood sugar was not an issue initially. I used to be around 80, 85. And then all of a sudden, within 6 months of just injecting basil, not bolus, which was supposed to be the honeymoon phase. I don't know how it was a honeymoon phase. It was really, really traumatic for me because I was still trying to understand what the hell is happening in my body and why am I feeling the way I'm feeling. But at that point of time, it was all good. But then post 6 months, I realized my sugars were 140, 150 fasting. And that got me really worried. But every now and then I would look at people and they would be like, oh, we are on a 200. And I would just tell myself, oh, maybe then I'm not that bad. If I have it under control all day, and if I don't have it under control at night, it's okay. Look at the bigger picture. I have more or less things under control. But I realized how it made me feel physically. I would wake up lethargic. I would wake up with soreness in my toes. My calves would be really taut. And it wasn't a very pleasant feeling. It was very difficult for me to get out of my bed. And then when I started following this wonderful piece of art, medicine, science, whatever you want to call it, from a 140, 130, it dipped to 60, which is not good, at all. And then I realized that maybe, I need to figure things out. Some of the recipes work for me, some of them don't. And I still need to give that kind of time to my body to understand food that it's taking in. And now, these days, I'm on an 80 to a 95. I had to take a break from my work because I just didn't feel like getting out of my bed. It was a task. So I let go of a lot of work. I'm a freelancer actor, and it just got very difficult for me to continuously keep saying no to work to a point that people stopped calling me for work. And that was a very, very difficult phase of my life. But when I started eating right and understanding my body, and I got more forgiving of my body. I would no longer belittle my body in the dialogue that I would have with my body. And I understood that I got to have the right conversation with my body. Just giving the right food possibly is not going to make it work. But when I combine the right food and the right dialogue, things just became so much better. And I have realized that foods that earlier I would crave for, maybe bread or, a really deep pan fried pizza, even if I end up having a slice, I I don't feel great about it. And that is the change that happened. So now, if I have a pizza slice and the next day I wake up, I can register the difference in my energy. And it's not a good feeling to wake up already feeling fatigued when the entire day is up ahead of you. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. The energies became a lot better. My brain fog cleared. I could think more clearly, I could focus more clearly, and I also started giving sunlight a lot of importance after reading this book. I started giving medium paced walks and medium paced workouts a lot of importance instead of just going to the gym and, sweating it out like crazy and just thinking that because I'm sweating so much, I'm doing great things to my body. I understood that that's not how you're supposed to make your body work. So I understood the value and the importance of medium-paced things in life. And I can't thank Mastering Diabetes enough. I've never really had any cholesterol issues, but there was this one time when I was trying to put on weight. And that's when a lot of oil and ghee and dairy products came in. And I did go on a higher side, although I was borderline, but it was still on the higher side. And I realized that that's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So I went back to going plant-based and I avoided all kind of oils and ghee and dairy and eggs. I just stopped all of that. So when diabetes initially happened, I was told carbs is like a big no-no. You can't eat this, you can't eat that. And I came from the understanding that diabetes meant no sweet. I had no idea that it meant no carbs and it meant no this and no that. And the first thing that was cut off from my diet was fruits and starchy vegetables. And I've been a vegetarian for a few years now. So those are my to-go foods. Like it was a mental issue. I was really fearful of carbs. And then from then to now, like today, I ate a 220 gram of carbs already. And it's just half a day here. I'm yet to have my evening snack and my dinner. So I'm already on a 220 mark. I am on a 25 unit, and which is like a 444 and 13. So that has worked out beautifully for me because now I'm not fearful of carbs. I'm no longer paranoid. I just know what are the right carbs that I need and which carbs are a complete no-no. On an ideal day, I try and take it up for 400 on an ideal day, but I do reach a 300 mark every day.